I wrestled for the University of Minnesota 2004 to 2010. I served in Iraq from October of 2007 to November of 2008.
Came in with the class of Mac Ryder, Roger Kish, CP, and then was in the National Guard, got called up to go serve in Iraq, and left after my sophomore year.
You know, originally my job in the military was to do field artillery, and ended up going over as a truck driver, convoy escort team. So you know, we were very important to the mission of making sure supplies and everything from mail to gasoline to food was being transported across the country safely, you know, so that people could get what they needed. Not just military personnel, but Iraqi people.
Did a year's service, actually wasn't planning on coming back and wrestling for the Gophers, was kind of going to focus on school, and then hit a weird sort of growth spurt, maturity spurt, if you will, in Iraq, and asked, you know, then at the time Coach Joe Russell to come back on the team, and started in the 2008 and 9 season.
You know, the biggest thing that I remember from Iraq was, you know, being a wrestler, I could get through anything. There was some, you know, important events while I was over there that I did look back at wrestling and think, you know, hey, you know, I've been in tough situations, I can do this, you know, we can get through it.
They're very similar mindsets. You know, I would say that any competitive athlete is pretty similar, you know, to a military mindset, in the sacrifice and the dedication that it takes to be good at it, and to be sort of vigilant for our country, or vigilant for, you know, your school. When those guys put on that singlet out there and they go and they wrestle, they're representing Minnesota, and I think that it means a lot to them. It did for me.
The camaraderie in the Army is very similar to the camaraderie in wrestling. You know, you got your brothers in arms and people you want to protect around you, and no different than when you're going on in a match, and you know, you got the people at the weight class below you or the weight class above you fighting. You want to fight for the people next to you there as well, and so you know, it puts things into relativity, you know, in terms of how can this experience transfer to this experience. And it was one of my varsity, you know, first varsity duels back, and I remember Joel Russell coming up to me saying, "Hey, are you okay? You know, are you a little bit nervous?" And putting things into perspective, you know, I just remember thinking, you know, hey, this is fun. This is nothing compared to what I was doing a year ago. You know, having people fire weapons at me, and you know, dodging mortar rounds, you know, and you know, this is an opportunity to involve some of my perspective I've gained, and just go out there and wrestle and be a part of a team that I care deeply about.
The bottom line is I'm grateful for my opportunity to serve our country, and then the opportunity to put on the maroon and gold. It was their experiences that I wouldn't trade for anything, and that I think my kids will be proud of.